Hi guys, just a quick one with these new ones and that lot, just to help those who are new to the MAWBOARDS and that lot understand a little bit about them. Basically we're just going to close this corner down and we'll do it with the standard set, chewy. Now if you're working on a long herringbone, your full planks, chewy's good as gold. Now when you get your chewy, put them on the floor and score 2 lines. You can use your standard template. Now you want to do 1 line, a few million from that side and a few million from that side. This is in case like if your field's out or you know what I mean, your wall's pissed and that lot. But obviously we've found out new ways with a holly board to take all the hits head on, but there are going to be some occasions where this is going to apply. Now once you've done that mark, say if it's down for that wall or the other, all the shots on that wall will be to that mark because you're the same degrees out. It really is not as complicated as anyone would think, I can assure you. I don't know how to word it to make it simplify it, and the answer to that is, you know what I mean, floor layers, our job is a complicated job. You know, you can't simplify it. So, chewy board. Now, what makes them all work is the templates. It's the standard template for your head-on hits, and your 45 templates for your 45 degrees. Again, it's just not going to come out of the box and you'd be able to suss it out. It's not like a, you know what I mean, just a new tool to improve your own method and that. It's pretty much a new method really, so, but stick at it, you know. So right, I've got chewy on. When you're on the long planks you can, these are a bit bananas as you can see, but you would, as a rule, you just line it up on the plank beforehand. Make sure she's on, so this is what you get with the standard set. Now I'm doing it up against the board and I know a lot of you will overlap, but this is just to try and show the sort of accuracy. Because when they're on, there's nothing like it. And I'll be honest with you, when you buy it, I don't really just want you just getting a tool being happy. You've done a few cuts. I want you to get this like little feeling that you get when they, even on the straight line, when they just go in. It's hard to explain. You'll know when you get it. Those of you that are not floor layers that have bought them, managed to look at them on YouTube or anything like that, it's I really can't emphasise how much it will not help you with floors like this. You know, it really, really won't. To get to this point is a lot of work. So my advice is just don't bother. Get a floor layer in to do it. It's a lot easier. Now look, floor layers, you'll understand that cut. See, so it hits it dead on the compression sort of thing. So enough good. Now that's going tile scribing to tile. You don't get much better than that. So again, I should practice talking while I'm working. Losing my knife at the same time. Okay, so again, chewy board. Because basically the magic of the tool is basically the drop. The drop between the two works out with the 45, like the 3-4-5 rule. So it doesn't matter what you put in here. This tool works on a square tile. This tool works, this one works on everything. Basically, the rule is which one goes with which. Is all of them go with all of them. It's just whatever one you get comfortable using. I quite like the lock boards on these ones, but we've just shown for the point of it with a standard set. Because this is all we had at the beginning. now we're getting them manufactured by a new firm, but like again, we're not out of the woods, because I don't know if many of you know this, but I've had nightmares with manufacturers, but it really is a case of it's my order is not that good. It's the equivalent basically of asking a firm to charge by the square metre on fitting and materials. You've got 10 square metres and they want 5 bathrooms doing, and they want it as an ongoing contract. Now, you know, it's not like I'd enjoy everything on the planet, but can you imagine, do you know of a flooring company anywhere on this planet, no matter what bullshit they come out with, would want that contract? I mean, you'd give it to someone you don't like. So, we're opening this one because getting charged on time now, not material. So, but you're never safe nowadays, boys. You know what I mean? Fucking manufacturers should have done that. Oh, it's fucking beautiful. Right, now, oh no, she's spot on. I've done it when I've done a dummy run. That one was over. I was hoping to show you when the wall was out, but never mind. Anyway, so again, chewy board, straight in there, plank on there, lining it up. Standard template. The sort of fit that I wanted to go for is if it's just like another tile within a flooring sort of thing, how they sit together. That's the finish I was trying to set it up for, you know. Now, you can't get a better example of like accuracy to that, I don't think, but it just doesn't happen overnight, and you know what I mean, a lot of you will, you know what I mean, get the boards out and it's just going to take a little while getting used to them, especially if you're not used to this way of fitting in the first place. So, just swap that one over with the other little one. Once you get used to the templates, you know how it is, boys. Once you get used to those templates and that not firing in every single time, there's no better feeling. We're going to have to do that one side. So it's just not going to match, is it? Oh well. Always happens. I did have it sort of like planned in my head how it's going to work, but if you ain't seen videos before, it is an ongoing tradition. I'll fuck everything up as soon as I turn the camera on. Now a lot of you, I mean this is for, I mean if you did do border first, you know, I mean I'd do border last with herringbone, but possibly border first with them fitting on the 45. But even with that, when you're closing in the herringbone and you're overlapping it on the end there, you're still getting a little bit on the last ones and you're fucking about a little bit. I hope the camera's picking it up, but No, it looks like I'm mucking about with the tiles, but I literally, these are the only ones I put left. So, obviously, for these shots, you can also use the holly board. If the wall's pissed or something like that, you can use the holly board in that. But say if you had cutouts along here, it's a little bit harder on the holly board to get them unless you're going into like getting the square marks from the side. But with this, so you know what I mean, if there were cutouts there like that, it would just be there, wouldn't it? There, you can do it. It does. I quite enjoy using that one. It could be just personal preference, you know what I mean? Some of you just want to get the fucking job done and get out. So Holly always sorts that out. I mean, you could literally chamfer them, put a bevel on it, and that is spot on. And I don't know what's more comfortable way of doing it. You know, is it more comfortable to put it in here, or is it better to go on there and overlap the two? Bearing in mind, if you're coming down there, you're balancing on that line as well, isn't you? I suppose, I don't know, each to your own as well. But me personally, when you start using these things, I don't want, you might as well just use them on everything, you know, get proper used to them. So here, this is where you're going to start having a choice. You can close it down. Let's have a look what we're dealing with first. Close it down and pick up the last triangle at the end, or you can load them all up, Buttercup, and do it all in one hit. So, what you don't want to be doing is leaving yourself with a tiny, tiny, tiny little piece that you can't get nothing in there to scribe. So you're better off, you know what I mean, just loading up the holly and going for it. But providing you know, this is possible. I'll do the marking pencil so you can see. You know, if you wanted to do it with that board, if you had adhesive on the floor, you could literally get your standard boards. So if that's all buttered out, line her up on there. Now, the drop there will be the same as the drop here. And believe it or not, that means you'll be pulling that mark, same as. So, you know, these are all the things that I keep forgetting. I mean, on this one, you're jumping on the holly board straight away, but, you know, you can use them for other things. The drop there will be the same. If it's dropped there to use the same template, it's only when you're going head on that you use the straight one. I wish it didn't sound as fucking complicated as it is, because a lot of you boys are just gonna, well, I think the best way to do it is to find out the way I found out, the way you all found out, is, you know what I mean, you just playing around with it, all of a sudden you try another one with this and you try another one with that, and you think, oh my god, it works. But I mean, you can load up the standard and use it as a holly if you haven't got one. Now, I'm just going to get them out, the holly board helpers, quickly. These I haven't started making as yet, because you know, I like to do the math on it. But I will start making them. This is going to be called Fen and Masker, I think. So I want to get them all made from the same manufacturer, so none of this, no more mucking about with me doing it on anything else. Just put a new edge on this. Oh, I had one there, sorry. Now the hollyboard help us. Can I just sound well said? Help us. See now that one. I haven't got the full thingy twigged on that one yet, but it could be because I was using the other wanker's plastic. Yeah, well there you go. Well, you're still going to have your middle one, aren't you? See that? You know, it's going to have its downfalls, but that's not really much of one, is it, really? No. If you're worried, don't overly dig into it, but in some applications where you've got it on, if that's going up against a wall, you're just going to bang them in, aren't you? So when you get your boards, you're not going to be used to them straight away, but it does not take long for you to start getting used to them, you know. If you think about it, providing they're cut right and all set up right, it's impossible for it to go wrong. Now that's a pretty cool thing, but it's also a lot of pressure both ends of the manufacturing. But a lot of times when you've just got to sneak that little bit off, you'll find that it was your original cut line, but you just don't have the confidence just yet, because you know you'd rather whittle in a little bit and chamfer a bit off than have to redo the cut half the time. So that's the case of how it works. But as a rule, when you're getting it on, she should fire in there. I mean, that is as good as you're ever going to want to get it. I mean, you're ever going to get it. I mean, if you had that one to do, you're going to be putting it on there, you're going to be trying to overlap that, cut from further back, and if it's getting neater results, use it. Especially those who've got the full set. I mean, Jesus Christ, you ain't ever going to fucking learn everything that they do, because every time you just do loads of stuff with whatever boards you're using, but you can do it with other ones, but sometimes you just can't be asked to go to the van and get it, or down out your tool bag, you know, what we're all like. But, oh, when she's down in like that, boys, you know that she's absolutely on beautiful. Got a little lump underneath there. Right, so I do believe that video went alright, so unless I haven't recorded it, we got one, and I don't even think I swore much on that one. Yes. See, Muckers is a personal thing, it's not a big company business. It's just a floor layer like, oh, but look, boys, I could put better on there and get that perfect, but she is good, isn't she? Right.